evening, everybody. It's been a long day, I know, for everybody. In fact, I was originally lined up for the last session, that is on capacity building and forensics and cyber security. But somehow, I believe the timelines could not meet up, and then Mr. Anup insisted on that you must speak before leaving. In fact, I have also to leave, like many other speakers. So I won't take much of your time also, as well as we are running far below the schedule. So, but little bit of things I would like to share from where Sachin just left, and my esteemed panelists were also talking about. We are today talking about security, and the moment I arrived here until now, I saw a lot of perspectives of security being shared, right from the people who are into actually managing the security business, that is from the policing side, from the defense side, and even from our administration side. So I believe our state, Jammu and Kashmir, is the one state which is actually going through a scenario in which security matters a lot. So this session holds great relevance so far as implementation of security and its tools are concerned. Here I would like to share a few of my own experiences so far as the security side is concerned. I won't say much about it because much has been said about how to implement the tools, the spywares. Even Mr. Rai said a great way actually how the national level CERT is doing. So what I want to share, like in a state like ours, Jammu and Kashmir, security has got great relevance in the sense I was a couple of days back sitting along with top security officers out there in the state, and we were discussing the security scenario. What actually disturbs, I would have discussed obviously in my capacity building side. There are two aspects to it. One, which Mr. Rai was also answering while in a question, that the budget for security is not per se secured in the systems as of now, and that's a fact. It's basically marking a budget for e-governance, not precisely for securing the e-governance systems. And to a great extent, I would say it is right also in the sense like at present, e-governance of late has not picked up to the level it should have in all the states. Yes, in few states, security needs real push. But few states where actually e-governance is to come into place, there e-governance requires a push, and I know automatically security will take over. I'll just quote you few examples. Some people in the policing were sharing with me that we had some frauds in my state's experience, I would say, in the banking sector. That again is part of the cyber crime. There were people from the cyber crime cell and they were just sharing their experiences. Like there were certain people who were doing some cloning of ATMs, which is very common cyber crime across the country these days. So some guys were very sharply doing it, and they were using all kinds of techniques. Some very cheap Chinese machines come, and with that they can easily make a clone. This is how they actually do it. So the guys told me, I said that where you have reached in that particular case. They told that, sir, we tried our level best. We have reached a level that we have reached up to those people. They were doing it, the kingpin was sitting in Bangalore. So they said that he was operating from there, and he trained some Kashmiri guys and people from Jammu. They actually started doing this business in the real sense. Like the modus operandi was like they used to make those clones, and then they used to visit shops. It's basically, not for taking out cash, but I believe for using for credit card purposes. So they say they used to go to the shops, and it was a 70-30 kind of equation. They used to tell the shopkeeper that this much you swipe, 70%, we'll take 30% you keep. This kind of thing they were doing. Somehow, somewhat in that business, some good shopkeeper actually had some police contacts. So when they reached to him, probably as per police's version, this was their last attempt. They had made a lot of money in crores. So they tried for the last time that after this we will give up. So this was probably the last time. This was unfortunate for them. The police fellow, he got connected to police. There is something fishy, you please come. And from there this connect came up. So this is how they apprehended the whole thing in the last ditch attempt. they failed, and the case came surfaced. And now still investigations are on, and they have caught almost everybody. Still, the last man is to be caught. Then the second thing I would say, major crime or major things which are happening in our state. I say the whole perspective of policing has changed. Very good examples were being quoted in the afternoon regarding, telecom merging with IT, and these days they have almost taken over. I fully agree with that. The way policing was happening, specifically in a security sensitive state like ours, has completely changed. You must have seen the Delhi blast case also. The IPs were found out and Kishtwar and all that. Everything, this is how they apprehended, that cyber cafe person, and they got hold of that militant links and all that. Similarly, many times ambushes and everything. They basically use this as a major tool reaching to the criminals, or say for that matter even militants and those anti-national elements. They are able to go through, use this IT, sophistication, all the gadgetries. I have had a lot of discussions with the people, top cops, like how they are managing, how they link up, how IMEIs are detected, and even if they throw away the phones, how the next one, whenever the frequently called number from the last I mean to say, policing has been using it to the best as possible. This ICT revolution, and especially to maintain best possible security, situations in a state like ours. But what is a bit disturbing is this is only compulsorily it is happening. It is not on a voluntarily basis. I see in the secretariat, in major departments, people are not ready for their capacity to be built in this domain. First of all, it's really tough to go with a few things. I am very much strong votary for SDC, which my colleagues from Jharkhand and many other people were also talking about, state data center, and linking up with Aadhaar-like things. This is fantastic. It's not basically police's database. It is basically, police is always a subset of the journal system. So what I mean to say that basically what is required is to build a journal database or state resident data hub, SRDH, which many states already have built in. But states like ours are still, in early stages. I believe that state resident data hub kind of thing can be of great benefit. And let me add on here to a state like Jammu and Kashmir, where it is much more easier to implement such a thing. Reason being, because of Article 370. It is obviously a debatable issue, but then we have a provision of permanent resident certificate, PRC. So I conceived a project. Last year I am Indore, and there my major area of work, I did an e-governance. Whole year I was studying those things. And my major area of work was on creating an e-PRC. That is a smart card-based kind of thing, in which basically, because PRC certificate is issued to every normal resident of Jammu and Kashmir. So, I thought we can link it up with Aadhaar, and same Aadhaar database can be used here. We can have a MOU signed with Aadhaar. Even UIDAI showed a lot of interest towards it. Same database of Aadhaar can be taken, and even a much better, because that's manual fingerprints we use in that PRC, paper document. So I thought we can use, all 10 fingers, proper biometrics along with iris and all, and same can become one of the most authentic database, because our state has another vulnerability factor. Cross-border people get their PRCs made wrongly, maybe people from other states and all those for taking the benefits of this thing. So I thought more security, which is actually required also in our state. So I thought this can be a very good solution to have a more IT secure atmosphere. We're working towards this kind of solution. Hopefully the state comes up with this idea and they accept it, and we can take J&K to Gen Next so far as IT, securing IT systems are concerned, and making it more useful for the public. Rest, I believe lot of work can be done, and even I believe that idea was wonderful. Like if that kind of deceptivity can be built up in the systems that hackers and those people, if this is again a brilliant idea, like this is one of the ways actually to counter the hackers and all. But I believe still a long way to go. First of all, digitization should be there, that should be proper data, and that data also has to be properly maintained, authenticated, and then we go to those stages. So states like ours and many other states who are in a pickup stage and who really want to bring the difference, I believe major challenge is to take them towards building very good standard SDCs, data centers, followed by state resident data hubs, SRDHs, and then introducing clouds and many such good things which our friends in the industry are very keen to help us with. So I won't take much of your time and conclude with these words only, that such kinds of awareness campaigns are direly required, and our state is welcoming all such initiatives as and when such conferences are held. Confidence level among us, the people, especially the people working in the sectors which matter, government, police and judiciary and such, their confidence level goes high, and I would say that we are open to many such kind of conferences in J&K, because the times are changing. People are developing that interest in adopting IT, because they know it's a must now. They can't lag behind in the state, and we welcome all such initiatives. The only thing which is required is consistency in such initiatives. I'm sure such levels of capacity buildings are going to make a big change in the scenario, and a security must kind of state like J&K. So thanks for bearing me for this long. We'll keep it.